Am I the a-hole for having my husband fired? Can't believe I'm posting here, but here I go. I, 29 female, have an ex, 34 male, Richard. It's been 3 years since we separated due to him being abusive and cheating. But we are not divorced as divorce is expensive in my country. And whenever I apply for divorce, Richard insists on meditation. So divorce is never granted as one of us tries to save the marriage. He lives with his mistress and they have a kid together that was conceived when we were still together. Due to both of them harassing and mistreating me, I have a restraining order against both of them. My employer is aware of all of this, as the utility company my ex works for supplies the buildings their offices are at, one of the major suppliers in the country. Now to the actual event. Due to restrictions, everyone is currently working from home with a few days in the office. Richard decided to show up at my work with his kid and demanded to see me for child support money since we are still legally married. As my employer is aware of the situation, the reception refused to tell him if I'm in the office or not. I was, and asked Richard to leave. Richard did not, and security was called. As he was with his child, security couldn't use force to remove Richard, so reception threatened to call the utility company he works for. Richard didn't believe the reception can do it. So long story short, him and his mistress were fired with immediate effect as Richard showing up at my work has been seen as gross misconduct, and they discovered Richard was his mistress's boss. Apparently his employer didn't know they were together, and it's strictly forbidden to have a relationship with someone who is directly employed by you. The utility company apologized for Richard's actions and gave a considerable discount for their services to make sure the news of what happened wouldn't spread. Since they were fired, I'm getting calls from unknown numbers of various Richards / his mistress's family members and friends, saying I'm responsible for it and just a jealous a-hole for getting them fired to get Richard back. We still have some friends in common, and they believe getting him fired and losing the only source of income they have is too harsh, and I should have prevented that. / shouldn't have spoken in the beginning about what happened. Am I the a-hole? Edit. Just not to repeat myself in the comments. His family believes it's okay to have several partners and be responsible for kids even they are from an affair. And according to our mutual friends, he spreads a lie that I couldn't get pregnant. I don't want and never wanted kids. So his mistress helped us with that. But then I overreacted and called it cheating. So he had to stay with her to support the kid. It's the same as what he pulled in the court when we were getting divorced alongside with his "I still love her and should have communicated better" lies. So the court wouldn't grant a divorce, as they believe he is trying to save the marriage and I'm being unreasonable. Now for the top comments before the little update. Oh dear, this better be a joke. He asked you for child support for his adultery kid? WTF? Not stay home. Him and his family believes if the child was conceived in the marriage, the other party should accept them even if it's from adultery. They also had a go at me for separating with him due to cheating, because in their eyes, it's okay to be with several people. I'm so sorry, but why the holy name did you marry this creature? What species is it? I guess the reason was the same how everyone else got into a toxic relationship. He wasn't like that, was loving and caring. I didn't know his family's views and other issues they have until after separating from him. Before that, they seemed fairly normal. A guy you have restraining order against showed up at your job, made a scene and got fired. You're obviously not stay hall here. This is absolutely the consequence of his own actions. It doesn't seem like Opie called anyone herself, and even if she did, I'd still vote not stay home. I feel awful for her. She must have been put through a lot in that relationship for thinking even for a second this is her fault. And unfortunately, it's not over for her yet. I hope she's able to completely get away from this guy. Not stay home. It doesn't even sound like you actually had a role in any of this. Like it all went down with you unaware even. I was informed he was in the office building by my manager as he had a meeting not too far from the reception. He knew about the situation, as he gave me a lot of time off to recover from the breakup a few years back and made sure I'm okay. He knows my reaction on Richard and that his presence generally makes me feel terrified. I assume Richard possibly heard some of the staff members saying I'm in the office as they were passing by, since it seems rather strange that he knew when to show up. Edit 2. Thank you for the support. I'm getting a bit overwhelmed trying to reply to everyone, but just want to point out a few things. His family's beliefs are not normal for the country, but I'm pretty sure they'd change if the situation would be the other way around. My boss is also incredibly frustrated with the situation, so he gave me contacts of his friend who happens to be a family lawyer, who agreed to help me out at a discounted rate as he owes my boss a few favors. He sees why courts take that long and will try his best to make sure divorce is granted. He also works as no win, no fee, and believes we can win the case and get Richard to cover the outstanding fees. And most importantly, no, I have not been paying child support to him and was not instructed to. The bit of claiming the child is mine as his mistress is his surrogate can be a bit complicated, but Mr. Lawyer, who I now owe a beer to, said courts can't make me pay or accept it since there is no evidence of any agreement. Next story is titled, Am I the a-hole for making a scene in public? My boyfriend and I were vacuuming the car in the gas station. He asked to see his phone, and when I handed it to him a few seconds later, he puts the vacuum literally on my face. Literally right next to my lips. Not even a full inch away from my lips. I freak out and try to smack his phone out of his hand and scream WTF. He tells me it's a joke, and how I'm overreacting and yelling in public. I won't lie, I've been feeling sick for the past couple days, so I've been semi-emotional. So I started crying because all I can think about is that nasty thing that never gets washed. It has been vacuuming up BS literally being on my face. My boyfriend has stated I've created an issue, and how he would never act like that. How it was a joke and how he will only be serious with me from now on. How he was just trying to make a funny TikTok. How he can't joke with me. I feel like an A now. Did I overreact? Am I the a-hole? Edit. I got my booster a couple days ago and have been having a rough time. Like laying on a cold tile floor to snap out of my dizzy/nausea and fever. I've been having bad headaches. It's made me semi-emotional because I've just been feeling like crap, and it's been super hard on me. Today was supposed to be getting fresh air and trying to feel better. Not that it's any excuse for me reacting the way I did. I just wanted to explain why I was semi-emotional already. Edit number 2. He wants to post it. And honestly, I don't have the energy to argue. So if you see it on TikTok, don't like it, please. Not stay home. You didn't laugh. It wasn't a joke. It was a joke is what a-holes say when they called out for their a-holery. Yeah, you always say something completely awful is a joke, but I'm never laughing. That's kind of a red flag that you guys are incompatible. It's okay. Some people enjoy stupid physical pranks and they are welcome to enjoy each other's company. But there's no reason you have to put up with it. Yep, if this is a pattern, it's time to say bye-bye. Perhaps do it on camera with a sick burn and put it on TikTok. See how he likes it. Not stay home, mainly because I hate TikTok. Also, sick or not, ew, that hose is disgusting. It was so dirty. Not stay home. It's only a joke if both people think it's funny. His response should have been, oops, sorry. I was trying to be funny and joking, but I can see it missed the mark. Really sorry. Instead, he doubled down and got defensive. Next story. Am I the a-hole for telling my wife that she should stop constantly expecting appreciation and just get on with her job of being a stay-at-home mom? I, 36 male, work full-time and my wife, 32 female, is a stay-at-home mom looking after our 2-year-old twins. When we got married, we both agreed that my wife would be a stay-at-home mom, especially since we don't have any family/grandparents nearby. We were both in agreement, but my wife made it clear she wanted to enjoy seeing our kids grow up, as we don't plan on having any more. I make a good wage, so we are comfortable. I don't give my wife any spending limits. Obviously, we discuss big purchases, so she is free to buy herself things. I make sure she has access to money and she takes care of everything around the house. I work from home and a typical day for me is 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. Once I finish work, I go and spend time with the twins while my wife makes dinner. We put them to bed together and my wife usually clears up in the kitchen. She's great at her job, and the house is spotless. I'm happy with this arrangement, and I thought my wife was too. Recently, she has been coming to me and saying that she feels burned out, unappreciated, and taken for granted. I asked if I could do anything to help, and she said that it would be nice if I did something now and again to show that I appreciated her. Like buying her favorite bar of chocolate when I go to the shop or something small, just a gesture of appreciation. I'll admit that I didn't do this purely because I'm not in the habit, to be honest. We recently had a massive argument because my wife got completely fed up with being treated like a servant. She basically said that her working hours are 5 a.m. to 9 p.m., 7 days a week, and that she feels like I take her for granted. I told her that I understand it's a tough job, but we both get on with our respective roles. I never ask her to thank me for making money. I think it's cringeworthy. I get on with my job because I have to provide for my family, whereas she wants presents and treats for doing her job. I essentially said this to her, and now I'm wondering if I'm the a-hole. Looking after kids and house is tiring, and she does work hard and takes care of everything. But at the same time, do I need to thank her on bended knee and buy her things just for doing her job? Am I the a-hole? Now for the comments. You're the a-hole. Jesus Christ. It's really too much to ask to occasionally buy your wife a bar of chocolate or say thank you. It sounds like she is working harder than you, but that isn't even the point. Appreciating her and showing her you love her is part of being a decent husband. If you're a robot who doesn't need appreciation, that doesn't mean she has to be too. You're the a-hole. I have 3-year-old twins and a new baby. I've been a mother every waking and sleeping minutes of the day for just over 3 years, not including a 9-month pregnancy with 2 babies that equaled 9 months of illness, sickness, and a broken body. Your wife is working all the time. You get to clock off at 5 and you don't even have to travel to work. Your wife not only keeps 2 small humans alive, your wife not only keeps the house in, as you say, pretty excellent condition, your wife not only cooks and keeps on top of food prep / buying, etc. Your wife not only drives everywhere to get things done, but she does this every day for 2 years without asking anything from you. Then the moment she does, the moment she opens up to you about how she feels, you dismiss her feelings and tell her you won't even help her feel a little appreciated? Well, news freaking flash. You get the feeling of appreciation, a job well done every time you make money, every time you please coworkers or clients, every day you keep your job. 2-year-olds crap and piss and eat and cry and laugh. No one stops to tell her or even gesture that your wife is a freaking superhero, like every stay-at-home parent. Buy her a chocolate bar and some flowers, then use them to knock sense into yourself. Edit to add. If you are a stay-at-home parent and you read this comment and say you don't agree because you feel appreciated by your children and infants, then that's great. Really, it is. But this woman doesn't, and she opened up to her husband about her feelings and he dismissed them. You're the a-hole. It's amazing. It's like your wife wants to be treated like a wife and partner instead of an incubator / nanny / housekeeper. Your wife is telling explicitly what she needs. She needs you to show her that she's appreciated. You are told, in a variety of ways at your job, that you are appreciated. I have no doubt. Your wife expecting that low bar to be met is reasonable. To note, nannies and housekeepers get told thank you and get bought special recognition rewards at times. Literally everyone gets thank yous. Opie gets shown and shows gratitude at work daily. He is treating his wife worse than he treats his most hated coworker. Everyone deserves recognition and appreciation. You're the a-hole. Correction, her hours are not 5 a.m. to 9 p.m. Her hours are 24/7. You don't get a break from being a mom, and you seem not to realize how exhausting it actually is. As a stay-at-home mom myself, let me tell you something. A lack of appreciation is equal to a lack of intimacy. I pack my significant other's lunch. I get a thank you. He sees me doing laundry or dishes, he says thank you. Is it every single time? No, but it's enough that I know, hey, he actually does appreciate what I do for him. And guess what? When I feel appreciated and cared for, it makes me want to do more for him. Why can't you run her a hot bubble bath? Why can't you get her a snack or flowers? Why can't you do the dishes or cook every once in a while? She keeps that house spotless, so when you come home you can relax and not lift a finger. When does she get a break? Does she ever get to sleep in? Does she get even an hour alone a day? Edit. Okay, you can all stop tearing me a new a-hole now. I get it. I do get to relax at the weekends, whereas my wife usually does her normal routine and gets on top of the cleaning, etc. Just for the record, I do thank her for everything she does. I say thank you all the time, but I understand that this may not be her love language. Now for the last story. Am I the a-hole for telling my side of the story? My husband, 35, and I, 32, have been married for 2 years. Well, we are very happy. When our relationship first started about 4 years ago, it resulted with a friendship ending. We had a mutual friend, Mary. She knew my husband Carl before I did. She introduced us. I knew she had a crush on Carl, but he had no romantic interest in her. I also had a crush on him, and he did and does have a romantic interest in me. I asked Mary if she would have a problem with us going out, and she said no. She actually encouraged the relationship. At first. After our first date, Carl and I found out that Mary had been going around to everyone she knew saying that we went behind her back and that I stole her boyfriend. Our close friends knew she was lying because they knew Carl and Mary had never been in a relationship. But people who didn't know me immediately believed Mary, and in turn repeated the untrue story to all the people they knew. Now, 4 years later, I still occasionally hear the untrue story. My husband and I don't go out of our way to tell the people the story, but if we hear someone talking about the lie, we will correct them. Recently, a really good friend of ours confronted us and said we should stop telling our side of the story. When I asked him why, he said, Mary's still really hurting over this. It makes her feel even worse when people find out she's lying. It would be kinder if people didn't know. Honestly, I don't care what the kinder thing would be. I don't want Mary to hurt more, but I don't think it's fair that we should be expected to hold our tongue when people spread lies about us. Am I the a-hole? What? Not the a-hole. I get that she's hurt, but that's no excuse to run around and spread lies. Your friend's request is absolutely ridiculous. I don't even get her being hurt by this point. It has been years, and she's still acting like she was wronged in some way. The friend needs to stop cuddling her and recommend professional help instead of scolding Opie for telling the truth. Not stay home. Mary should stop lying if she doesn't want to get hurt for being called out for lying. Mary's ruining the couple's reputation. Defend it because it's annoying how it affects your relationship with friends. But honestly, I would cut out anyone who believes Mary and start with a new group of friends because this is too juvenile for my liking. Not stay home. If she didn't want you to correct the lie, she shouldn't have told it, or considering people are still asking, be telling it. Personally, I would be considering terminating the friendship with Mary, given she is clearly trying to undermine you and paint you as the homewrecker. Oh, the friendship was over 4 years ago. As soon as I heard the lies she was telling, I ended it. Initially, I thought we may be able to reconcile, but when I heard what she was telling people, I knew it was over her.